I first fell in love with the horror genre since I was a kid. I grew up watching monster movies. I watched movies like Creature of the Black Lagoon, Them, The Thing from Another World, The Fly, and I also got into teen slasher films like Halloween and Scream. And the older I got, the more into the genre I became, and now it's like my favorite film genre of all time. It's just like it's a big part of my life, and it's a big part of my work as a filmmaker. Well, I started off loving movies, and I remember when I was 12, I was watching, actually rewatching James Cameron's Aliens. And while I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, instead of watching movies, why not just go make some movies of my own? And it just kind of started from there. It just started out of love for movies, respecting it as the ultimate art form, and just been pursuing it ever since. I had made a short film called Rabbitface back in 2020 and had wanted to make a sequel short to that one. So I took some test footage from the first Rabbitface short along with B-roll from another short film I made with my best friend Estella Cazell, and some archival distorted graphics that I bought for $85, and just kind of put it together with some leftover sound effects and made this experimental horror short trailer that developed not just as a trailer for a short film, but also a trailer for a feature-length project that's also called A Special Broadcast from Rabbitface. I'm currently developing and hope to get off the ground pretty soon. The most challenging thing is getting the film together, because so many moving parts go into making a movie. Like, you're worried about the performance, you're worried about the cinematography, you're worried about the set design, special effects, sound, all that stuff. So it's like a lot of things that go into making a film. And sometimes you deal with delays, sometimes you deal with technical mishaps, stuff happens. But what makes it rewarding, though, is when you see the film come together in the editing, when you see all that footage, you're like, wow, this thing that was just figment of my imagination, one moment is becoming a reality, and it makes all the challenging parts worth it, just to see a film come to life. Well, in terms of recent horror films, Hereditary was a big one. That movie is pure horror from start to finish. I love it. I also love The Lighthouse, It Follows, Midsommar, Insidious. In terms of classic horror films, I really love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's like a huge influence on me as a director. Night of the Living Dead, Alien, The Shining, Jaws is one of my favorite movies of all time, as you can see. But yeah, and that's really all I have to say. There's so many horror films that I love. Deep Red is another one that I just saw recently that I really love. But that's pretty much all I have to say about that.